Got a few data sets that we aggregate, and we've shared some of this already, but we've added a few extra weeks to this. So it's a really common question that we've been asked is, what are other advertisers doing? Are people starting to change how they're spending? The short answer is we haven't seen big shifts, and it probably goes back to some of the slides that Alex presented earlier. Is really just goes kind of hand in hand with adoption. Like, people haven't had that wake up call yet. So this is one of the data sets we've seen from kind of the start of the year, looking at percentage or share of wallet that goes towards iOS versus Android, and this is just split out between different kind of size of advertisers in terms of what they're spending, and just in terms of context of the data set we're looking at, it's a sampled size of about $500 million of annualized ad spend across just over 100 apps, and who have been consistently advertising over this period of time. So it's really the only movement we really see is maybe some of the lower spenders that we're seeing kind of a move more towards Android. Part of that could just be, again, Thomas touched on it earlier, some of the smaller players, they're just a little bit more in the dark, or maybe don't have the resources to really get under the skin of the changes coming, so they're being a lot more cautious. And then the other factor could just be around any small shifts in budget could be quite meaningful given their spend is quite small. So that's kind of one area that we've seen. So no big changes just yet, but maybe this will change over time. We then kind of looked at also by media channel, and I think this is also a really interesting one. So again, more looking specifically at the operating system split. So no significant or notable changes. There's only one that I think has been quite interesting, which is around Google. So we've definitely seen quite a big shift in Google budget from iOS to Android. And what's really interesting, I think we're going to come onto this maybe later on, is Google, from the analysis we've done so far, is probably the most difficult to run scan in terms of how prepared they are in terms of the interface. So that's probably what's kind of really driving it. And if we go to the last slide, what we actually kind of see is Google, people haven't necessarily stopped spending or spending less in Google overall. It's more just shifting that iOS budget to Android. And I think we'll see more of this as things progress, and it's probably just a message for all the media partners out there. Like, if they're really not prepared with scan, people will just shift budget.